Ladies and gentlemen, it's To Tell the Truth. And here sitting in for Garry Moore is your host for today, Bill Collins.
Well, as I do indeed. Thank you. Thank you all. Very nice. I appreciate it. Ron, thank you. Hello. Sitting in for Garry again. Welcome to Tell the Truth. We're going to start the show a little differently today. I think you'll be interested. You'll see what I mean just a moment, right after we meet our panel here on whatever this is.
Peggy Cash. Here to lay. Kitty Carlisle. And Gene Rayburn.
For heaven's sake, I almost kissed Gene Rayburn. Be the worst thing. Hi, everybody. Hey, panel, I got to get real big. I want you to meet a young lady who is dressed in a most unusual way. Are you ready? Okay, her name is Jan Duffy. Hi, Jan. Look at that, huh? I sense for a girl, but not in this condition. Anyone have any ideas what the bandages are for?
Yes.
What?
I bet it's to lose weight.
Hmm?
I bet it's to lose weight.
That's your guess, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll read this next just like. Believe it or not, it's a new way of losing inches in weight where you want to lose them. Now, just before the girl got in this bind here, we measured her and took her picture. Now, we took pictures of her measurements. Now, that was about an hour and a half ago. There you are, and I'll show you that card right there. Take a look. Now, her measurements then were the arms, 22 and a quarter. That's doubled, of course, 22 and a quarter. And the waist, look at that, 26 and a half. The hips, 33. The thighs, everyone has two thighs. The drumstick, 45 and a quarter. And the calves, same applies, 29 and an eighth. They're doubled there. You understand that?
Why does she have to lose weight with 33 hips?
Well, wait till you see. Wait till you see. Wait till we see what's going to happen. All right, now, in addition to the bandages, we're going to put her in a jumpsuit, which is part of the treatment. Then she's going to leave us for a while because it's going to take a little more time before the treatment is completed. So come back later, will you, Jan? Thank you, Dolores. You may wheel the girl away. Isn't that terrible? All right. Interesting? Now, I want you to know that young lady, the whole thing has absolutely nothing to do whatever with our first spot. That's part of our second spot. Now, that sort of crash reduction method is necessary after you put on unwanted inches by eating such things as our first guest supplies. Things like candied sweet potatoes and chitlins. So first, let's meet the man who knows all about soul food.
Number one, what is your name, please?
My name is Dean Frazier.
Number two.
My name is Dean Frazier.
Number three.
My name is Dean Fraser.
All right, your job, panel, to find out which of these three men is the real Dean Frazier. Here's his story if you listen. I, Dean Frazier, love soul food. Now, soul foods, as many of you know, are the foods indigenous to the South, particularly those seasoned with salt, pork, or ham. Most soul food dishes require an exceedingly long cooking time, so I decided to market frozen soul food. Soul on ice, you might say. Using the very same recipes my wife and mother used. Fully cooked and seasoned, they're ready to eat in only 35 minutes. Currently, my frozen collard greens, turnip greens, white beans, chitlins, candied sweet potatoes, okra and tomatoes, black-eyed peas, and cornbread are available in most parts of the country. They're also available right here on To Tell the Truth, so let's serve some to our panel, shall we? Signed, Dean Frazier.
Great.
Dig in there, kid.
Oh, my God.
I was hoping. I saw a knife and fork in front of me, and I was hoping it would be food, but I didn't expect anything like this.
That's what it is. Now, while our panel shows their various lack of breeding, we'll serve up a few messages.
I don't know what this is, but I don't want
I mean, huh? What'd you say?
like my old football.
No, it's a little slippery
Like,
when you
looks like a piece
shave.
of an old rubber tire.
Yeah, all right now. Okay, panel, now, say something nice. Gene, those chitlins were good, weren't they?
Listen, but
Which one were
my favorite are black-eyed peas.
like
And
black-
these were very well flavored and well done. It's a TV dinner. We ate the whole thing during the commercial.
They did. I never saw Peggy or Kitty turn down a bite of anything. Now, panel, all those men across the way claim to be Dean Frazier, the man who introduced frozen sulfodes.
Oh, very good.
Susan Holfried, which you've all just made disappear. Let's start the questioning with Kitty Carla. I can't
Well, I've
talk
tasted a little of everything, sir, in number 2, except this. And I wanted to know what that was.
It's called chitlins.
Well, number 2, I thought chitlins was something that was fried and very crisp.
No, it's not.
Number 3, what are chitlins?
Chitlins are the small enters of a pork.
What?
Small what? Entrails of a pork?
That's
But why-
nicely put. I'm leaving here now. What is that there?
But how come number 1...
Took the words right out of my mouth.
How come, number 1, that when I come from the South, and all this kind of food to me is just like mother's milk, but why is it we always had it very crisp and fried?
Oh, you're speaking of crackling.
Crackling, what's
That's
that?
what you're speaking. It's,
What is that? Oh, please tell me.
No, she'll tell me.
Oh, Nancy?
Tell me what number one. What is crackling?
It's a hard fried pork skin.
That's right.
Oh,
Thank
that's
you.
the stuff that's left over after you render lard, right?
There you go.
Oh,
That's right.
I'm asking you the question. Now, what is wrong? Number 2, what's the soul food restaurant on Lower 10th Avenue here in New York?
It's called Boondocks.
Boondocks, yes. Number 3, how do you fix black-eyed peas? Just, in a few words, tell me.
Well, they're boiled with a smoked ham hock and different natural spices.
Number 2, do you soak your peas overnight?
Yes, I do.
You do. Number 1, how is the okra fixed?
The okra is cut up and boiled with a tomato, like a tomato sauce.
There you go, Gene. All right, Peggy Cat.
You know, number 3, I come from Boston, and we put salt pork in beans, and that's not Southern. Do you always put salt pork in your beans?
Yes,
It's delicious. Listen, my dear, I really want to know something. Will you do boil this?
yes.
Yeah? I gotta tell you. I mean, I'm willing to try anything once except that. Number 1, what kind of pie is this? It's delicious.
It's sweet potato pie.
And it tastes sort of like pumpkin pie.
Pretty close.
Yeah. Number 1, why is okra slippery? I mean, number 2.
The slime, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why is it like that?
Because of the climate where it's grown and the water residue on it.
I see. But number 3,
Cure delay, you may finish
I'm not
up
knocking
the
the food. It's delicious, but slippery.
Number 2, what's the name of the soul food restaurant on Bleecker Street in the Village?
Bleecker Street, I'm not familiar with that, sir.
Can you answer that, number 1?
No, I can't.
Can you, number 3?
No.
It's the Pink Teacup. How many soul food restaurants are there? Are there quite a few? Number 3?
In New York or
Yeah.
around the country?
In New York.
I only know of 3 in New York.
Only 3 in New York. What is the safe temperature for frozen foods, number 2?
400 degrees.
400 degrees. Would you agree with that, number 1?
Yes, I would.
What are grits, number 3? How are they prepared?
They're boiled.
They're boiled?
Right.
Number 1, what are grits? What's the difference between grits and hominy?
Well, hominy is a kernel, and grits is the pulverized or ground up
Okay.
kernel of the hominy.
Thank you, sir. The answers are in, and it's up to you now, panel, to vote for number 1, number 2, number 3. $50 for each wrong answer, $500 if you wipe them out. Kitty, we're going to start with you.
Oh, all right, all right. I'm going to vote for number 2. I think that number 1 had a lot of answers, and number 3 did. And actually, I'm not sure about the okra. I think it's just indigenous to the vegetable itself, but I think he's the one.
Gene Rayburn.
Well, I voted for number 3, and I'm probably wrong because number 1 and 2 gave the incorrect temperature for frozen foods.
Oh, no.
I didn't know that, Peggy.
If 400 degrees is like so hot, how could you freeze food at 400 degrees?
Below.
I mean, that's below. Oh, below.
Not going to cook in my house.
I buy everything fresh. I voted for 3.
All right, below. Care, how about you?
Well,
Above or below?
I voted for number 1, not only because I was impressed with his answers, but because he seemed to enjoy the subject so much. He had such a pleasant smile on his face as he talked about the food.
All right, it's pretty well spread around. 1 for 1, and 1 for 2, and 2 for 3. Will the real Dean Frazier please stand up? Number 1, sir, who are you and what do you do, please?
Well, my name is Jimmy Cheatham. I'm an arranger, composer, and orchestrator for the Chico Hamilton Production Corporation.
Happy to have you with us. Number 2, sir, if you would.
My name is Chuck Blackwell. I'm a tennis professional at Bill's Indoor Tennis Court at 142nd and 5th Avenue.
Thank you. Hey, Dean, just to keep the record straight, Dean, what in fact is your company's name and under what label are the products sold? I think we owe you that.
The company's name is Fraser Soul Foods, and it's sold under that brand in many markets.
I hear you're going to have catfish. Are they going to be ready soon?
Yes, in about, I guess about 6 months we'll be marketing a catfish dinner.
I wish you well. I wish you well. Thank you, Dean Fraser and Imposters, for being with us and playing the television. All right. Okay, you remember, you're going to eat my pie. All right, all right. Remember the young lady you met earlier in the show? All right, we're going to take a look at her now and see what's happening.
Okay, strike this plate.
There we come. Look at that. Hi, Jan, Dolores. Now, she's still wrapped up in all wrapped up, you see, and in a plastic jumpsuit, which is also part of the treatment. I understand it takes a little while to unwrap you from all those tapes and jumpsuits and things like that. So, Jan, while we play our game, we're going to take the bandages off, and then when you come back, I'm going to measure you in the line of duty, of course. And, okay, we'll see you later. All right, bye, Dolores. Good hair. I'll measure you too, Dolores, on that kind of... All right, we're going to meet the man responsible for these goings-ons right after these messages. Okay, let's meet the man who trims ladies down by wrapping them up.
Number 1, what is your name, please? What is your name?
My name is Jack Sobel.
Number 2.
My name is Jack Sobel.
Number 3.
My name is Jack Sobel.
Okay, panel, if you'll listen, here is Jack Sobel's story. I, Jack Sobel, have a noble mission in life to help the American woman look slim and stylish without the strain of strenuous exercise or the agony of rigid dieting. I'm the head of a research and development for a chain of figure contouring salons. Our secret weapon against unsightly extra inches is a unique wrapping process, the very same you saw used on Miss Jan Duffy a minute ago. We snugly wrap bulging hips, flabby thighs, and dimpled knees in tape, which has been saturated in my own secret solution. Then the lady puts on one of our bag-like jumpsuits and reclines peacefully while the inches melt away. An average of 4 to 6 total inches off in 90 minutes. I think the name of my company is quite appropriate. It's called Trim Away. Signed, Jack Sobel. Okay, panel, all three of those gentlemen claim to be Jack Sobel. We'll start with a fellow who... it's a whole trim panel now that I'm not sitting on it. Keir Dulé, you may begin.
Number 1, did you have a weight problem? Is that how you got interested into it?
No, I got into this some years ago. Somewhere back 45, 46, I was in Switzerland, and my wife became rather ill. We took her to a doctor, and this doctor told me about this particular process that was going on where we remove, or they rather removed inches, you see.
I see. All right. Can you exercise wearing these things? Would it increase the taking? Number 2, would it increase your weight loss if you were to exercise wearing this?
We don't take weight off. We only take inches off.
But it would affect your weight, wouldn't it? Number 2.
No, it would not.
Number 3.
Thank you, Keir. Kitty.
Well, number 3, how can you take off 4 to 6 inches all over, let's say on your thighs and your hips and all, and not have it affect your weight?
Well, it's just that kind of thing. We do take the inches off without being involved with weight.
Number 1, how often can you do it? Can you do it till you get down to the bones?
Number 1?
No, number 2.
Oh, no. You can only take the amount of inches that the body will give. You do not force the body in any way.
I see. Number 1, does this process simply mean that you take the water out of the area? In other words, you're bandaged and and you put cellophane on. Obviously, you're sweating, and it just takes the water out of whatever area.
We don't put cellophane on.
Well, does it take the water out?
No.
Okay, thank you, Kitty.
That would come right back.
Gene?
Number 2, would you look at my body?
No.
No, I've done that, thank you.
How many inches do you think I could give?
Couldn't tell you unless I saw you.
Well, all right. Number 2, where are American women the largest? Where do they need to lose the most?
In Pittsburgh, Gene.
No, that's not true. 2.
The female's problem is usually in their thighs and their hip area.
Thank you. Number 3, in what country is it fashionable for a woman to have a large posterior?
Oh.
Can you say that?
You did?
Oh, yeah, I said it.
In Italy.
In Italy?
Also not bad to have a little fat around Sicily. Peggy.
Number 3, who is Ben Benet?
Also, someone involved in the same type of business.
Thank you. Number 2, well, you just sort of shrink the people, is that it?
You contract the excess skin on an individual.
But don't you kind of get the water out of the tissue?
No, ma'am. Each individual has excess skin when they do not keep it in shape.
Thank you. Number 3, don't athletes do this, like jockeys and fighters, to make the weight?
That's true. People from all walks of life. We've got television stars like yourself, Hollywood movie stars, lay people.
Thank you.
Thank you, and that's it. Time for the voting, and Kier, you're first.
I'll vote for number 3 because he knew about another specialist in the field.
Okay, how about you,
Might
Kitty?
have made that up.
No.
No? Oh.
Oh.
Well, I
She might
trust
have made it
Peggy
up.
always, and therefore I voted for number 3 because I thought he had a great deal of information and talked about all kinds of people very knowledgeable.
Gene Rayburn.
I tell you, I voted for number 2 because I'll vote for a skin shrinker every time.
And how about you, Peggy?
Well, number 3 knew who Ben Benet was, but I figure anybody that would know that do anything about the subject at all. I voted for number 2 because he looks like a fight trainer.
Well, they're in. 2 for 2 and 2 for 3. Will the Real. You ready? Jack Sobel, please stand up. Had you scared. Number 1, sir. Number 1, would you tell us your name, sir, and what you do?
I'm David Howard. I'm a photographic illustrator.
Thanks, David. And 2 votes for number 3. How about you?
My name is Art Raymond. I do a disc jockey show in New York and in Philadelphia.
Ah. What's the most startling results you ever had from one session of a trim-away treatment, Jack?
The maximum that an individual took off on a woman was 22.5 inches.
22 total inches?
That's right.
Because we measured both
You've got
arms.
18 dimensions.
All right, that's right. Now here, if you're ready, we're going to take a look. We'll have living proof of all that, of how well the trim-away works. Hey, Jan Duffy, come on out. Look at that. Where's my feet? Right here, Jan. Oh, boy. Gee. Hi, Jan. I'm going to measure. Here's a chart, Gene. Now, you go away and sit down away from me.
Wait, what do you want me to do here?
Now, just sit down away from me there. And what do I measure first? Arms. I'm going to measure arms. You can take... How's that? Just about right? Okay, make it 10.5 there, Gene.
10.5, that's doubled.
Double
That's
that.
10,
How much is that?
21.
Okay, where do I put it now?
So that means you lost...
Where that red mark is.
there, huh?
Red mark got you right in me. Okay. Gene?
What?
25.5.
What is that for?
I don't know.
Her waist?
What
You're
do you
fiddling
think
around with her waist there.
What do you think it's for?
Yes.
That's her
25
waist,
and a
right.
half.
Now where do I go, Jan?
Oh, right across
Oh, I
the
go
red
there
mark.
too. All righty.
Upper hip area.
All right, upper hip area.
Upper hip? What's it? I gotta watch
Upper
this.
hip, Gene.
Yes.
Make it 28, Gene.
28?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Would you do that
That's
one
what
again,
it
Bill?
says here. 28.
Would you
Gene.
do that one again, Bill?
I can't. I'm going to get to the thighs now.
Beautifully.
I'm going to the thighs now, okay?
Right.
Right there.
Right, the red mark.
Oh,
I
that
can't
darn
believe
monkey.
that one.
All righty.
This girl is wasting away to nothing.
Hey, that's nice.
We gotta send her to camp
You
after
have
this.
to take measure backwards.
I got the tape measure backwards, Gene. I have to do it again.
I have a 38-inch thigh, they'll all drop dead.
All right, boy, if you pretty minute, I'm going to drop dead. 22 inches, Gene.
22.
Yeah, double that. Is this it?
That's 44.
Yes.
Half. Okay, now wait. 44. I can't get down on my knees because my
That's
inches
1
are too
1/4.
long. You put it. I don't care.
I think that...
Make it 13.5, Gene.
What's that say again?
13.5.
13 and a half.
Thank you, Jan. Holy mackerel. Holy, all right. Now, let me see. What do we got here?
Wait a minute.
Hurry up with it. You sit. Oh, I'll measure her again while you're...
3, 4, 9, 10, 11.
Right.
11 and a half, 11 and 3/4.
That's what?
That's a total inch loss.
11 and 3/4?
Yeah.
That is marvelous. I'll measure you again, Jan. Thank you very much. Pretty good. Thank you, Gene. What? That is, well, Jack, that's pretty sensational there.
Well, she has done better than the average.
Well, you know, actually, the reason I think it's sensational, Jack, is because she was in good, and I'm not trying to be funny, good shape or condition to begin with. I mean, she didn't seem overly heavy to start.
Different people react differently. Some people will take it off a lot faster than others. It depends on their skin tissue.
And your average is 4 or 6?
Average individual is 4 to 6 inches.
What do you weigh, Jack?
What do I weigh?
Yes.
I weigh 158.
How tall are you, Jack?
I'm 5'7".
You're overweight, Jack.
We don't go by weight. We go strictly by inches.
Ask me how much I weigh, Gene.
How much you weigh, Bill?
167 inches. Thank you, Jack Sobel and Imposters, for playing to tell the truth. You might not believe it, but that's the first time in my life I ever measured a girl.
No.
In front of all these people.
Really?
What are you doing, my tape measure?
Well, the end is near, so I thought I'd get ready.
That's right. We didn't measure that, did we?
That's right. Yeah.
Thank you,
Double-check, Bill.
panel. Thank you, Chair DeLay, and all of you. Goodbye from Let's Run for the Hills.
Promotional consideration provided by American Airlines. Traveling on business or traveling for fun, it's good to know you're on American Airlines. Hotel accommodations, courtesy Delmonico's Hotel on fashionable Park Avenue, ideal for gracious living. Visit famous Delmonico's restaurant for superb continental cuisine. This is Johnny Olson speaking for To Tell the Truth, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.
The truth can be found in black and white with Bud Collyer. Don't miss the original To Tell the Truth, Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific.